I gained from scouting a lot of bruises in places that I want and a good chance to meet with my friends.
It's a chance for me to meet my friends and I learn how to tie a knot.
Well, it's sort of the only place where you can like mess around with axes and play with fire, if you get my meaning. There's all the health and safety stuff, and this is about the one place where you can really play rugby, do you get the idea? And there's loads of friends, so not only do you get to play rugby, you get to take down your friends as well.
In 1907, at a campsite in Brownsea Island, Baden-Powell gathered a group of 22 boys from varying social backgrounds to test his theories and practices of survival from his time in the British Army. Today, the Scouting movement has reached great success. Spreading over 216 countries worldwide, it has grown vastly since its founding. The 3rd Bromley Scout Group this year are celebrating this centenary and looking back on what has changed and what is to come.
Through, left, reverse flag.
They used the sort of drill hall for a bit, but they sort of decided that they would actually like a hall of their own. So in about 1922-23 they decided they'd start collecting money. By 1929 they'd got enough money together, which I believe was about £700 in those days. They then built most of the hall themselves. They got the land, they actually built it in 9 months. So by 1930, the hall as it is now was built, and it's lasted all these years. Yeah.
Well, the Scout Association is very wise in as much as it has reinvented itself several times over the years. But it is very much the same. It's the sort of thing that boys do like to do, no matter how much technical things there are in their life. They still like to get out and light fires and do cooking and the likes.
The values haven't changed. They haven't changed at all. Still a charity run by volunteers.
I think it's pretty much the same, but the children are different. The boys are different. They are not quite so adventurous as they used to be.
Health and safety definitely hinders anything we try to do, and it's getting ridiculous. The PC brigade have got in, and even to play conkers now you have to send a permission to play conkers form home and get them to sign it.
You need to do it now to cover yourself, but it's taking the fun out of it, and it's spoiling it.
And I think it's not very good for them. I think that we've got a bunch of kids that are growing up now that don't know what risk is, and as soon as they get any form of risk, they get frightened. They just don't know what to do. You don't see them climbing trees or anything anymore.
One of the more controversial changes that the Scout movement is adapting to is the introduction of girls into the troop, and within the 3rd Bromley, the Beavers and Cubs.
They are a very calming influence on the boys.
We've had them for 2 years now, and they're not a problem at all. They're more than capable of doing everything that the boys can do.
They listen to what you say and they get on and do it.
They've been great, our girls.
Doing as much as the boys, if not better. I hate to say that, but
I really believe that boys should have a place where they can go, where there are just boys. I don't think that girls should be allowed into absolutely everything that we do.
I personally would sooner we didn't have them.
Josh, go.
Joshua's big up here.
No, why is it for cup?
I think it's a bit sad that they're here, because scouting was for boys and guides for girls.
I think it's probably an indictment of the Girl Guide movement, because they don't give them enough activities as we do the Scouts.
The girls want to stitch things and do home cooking and play with puppies or whatever they do.
We would do canoeing and climbing and caving, and if the girls are that way inclined and want to do that sort of thing, they will find the Scouting is a good way to do it.
There should be more girls!
I think we've got 3 or 4 girls in the Cubs at the moment, and we'll see what happens when they come up.
Then you're going back to the PC side of things is that it's bad enough at the moment with boys, but with girls it's just another level.
Because of this paedophile climate that we've got these days, that you're scared to do anything.
We were just, for example, walking down into the woods, and the young lady was walking up, and then she decided to walk off in the opposite direction. And I said to Tom at the time, well, if she goes back and says, oh, well, we were being followed, you know, it's just a strange environment for us leaders to be put in, you know.
I think it's going to put us into, some of our scout leaders are going to find themselves in some awkward positions one day or the other.
We're far happier with working with lads, you know, than we are working with young ladies. It puts us in a difficult position.
And to be able to take them away for a weekend so that they can actually be outdoors and having an adventure is what we do.
Turn them into individual people that can look after themselves.
Not all the boys go to the same school, so they're making friends outside their normal environment as well.
The third Bromley Cub Pack Centenary Tree 2007.
Special things that we want to do with the Cubs, because it is 100 years of scouting, and we came here on Thursday so that they could plant their centenary tree.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
Very good. So hopefully in 100 years' time it'll be a great giant of a tree. And then at the end of the year, they'll be just celebrating, have a big cake, and we'll just celebrate that we've done the 100 years of scouting.
Oh, that's better.
Will scouting continue for another 100 years? I hope so.
I still think we will have the basics to cook on a fire made of wood, you know, a couple of matches to light it with, and outside.
I think scouting's doing very well, you know, and I think it's, I can't remember how many it is now, 28 million I think it is around the world, and still growing, so let's hope that it continues.